Hey folks, Jim Thomas here, Fitness Management and Consulting, and welcome to our channel today. I appreciate y'all being here. And if you're new to the channel, if you're finding us for that very first time, welcome. It's good to have you. And our topic for you today, it's how to recover from a bad gym management hire. How to recover from a bad gym management hire, or maybe just a bad hire in general. Now, before we get into our topic today, just as a quick reminder, my focus, my mission here in the channel is I want to be able to provide as much information as I can to as many people as I can, across the globe. And the best way I can do that is when you choose to subscribe to the channel. So if you've not yet done so, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. And then to learn more about me, learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out those links below. And for you folks that are looking to open a new gym and you need funding, you have an existing operation, you need funding, we can help with funding up to $400,000. It's unsecured. There's no restrictions on how you use it. The basic qualifications on it, it's a minimum credit score of 680 or better in all three credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, and a minimum income of $50,000 per year each of the two previous years. So check out the links below under financing and funding. We have more information for you on that and additional options for other funding options for you as well. So be sure to check that out. If you're looking to open something new, you need some operating capital, we can potentially help. Now, with that said, let's get into our topic here, and it's how to recover from a bad gym management hire. And I think everyone's been in this situation at one time or another. You hire somebody and boy, it's not working out, okay? And, one of the problems, I'll talk about this a little bit here as we get into this, but one of the problems sometimes in the hiring process, whether it's for management or other positions, if we're not careful, you end up just trying to fill a slot. Hey, I have this spot open, let's get it filled, instead of really having the right person. It's a common thing. So let me give you some things to think about and see if we can help identify some things and provide some solutions if you're in this situation. And actually, if you're opening up something new, this would be a nice component of a business plan to really put you in a position to hopefully, not have this happen. And so, number one, determine why it's a bad hire. Determine why is it a bad hire? Why is this a bad hire? Why is it not working out? Okay, maybe you thought they had more experience than what they actually do. Maybe you thought they could manage better. Maybe they don't follow directions. Whatever it might be, right? But why is it a bad hire? I know a lot of times when folks they'll hire front desk folks and they'll want them to sell, but front desk person, a little more hospitality, a little more admin than it is salesmanship, and sometimes you get some challenges in there too. So whatever it is, sit down and take a good hard look at this, because you'll never fix anything unless you know really what's happening and the why behind it. Number two on my list of how to recover here is consider if reassignment is an option. Consider if reassignment is an option. Is there another place in your company you can put somebody? Because, if you hired them, you liked them at some level, it's not fitting in the spot they're in, is there another spot? Now, I would say this, attitude has to be 100%, work ethic has to be 100%. If those are the two things that are causing this to be a bad hire, maybe reassignment is not going to be the answer. But if those things are in place, and they're coachable, I know one of the things we've had a lot of success with is folks that are in membership sales, okay, and maybe it's just not quite working out for whatever reason, but, the person has all the characteristics of what you're looking for. We've put them into a role of like a field marketing rep, and they understood kind of the urgency of sales, the necessity of now, when it comes to selling and that kind of thing. And they took that into a field marketing rep role and then just excelled at it. So you can reassign some of these folks and still have a very good person. Maybe we just got them on the wrong seat of the bus, so to speak. So consider whether reassignment is going to be an option. Number three, when you're looking at this, how to recover from a bad gym management hire, let your mission be your guide. What's the mission of your company? What is it your company's trying to accomplish? Let this be your guide and really evaluating and determining, whether this is the right person, for the right role in your company. It's an easy way to look at it because you're not really changing things. Okay, here's our mission, here's our focus. Is this hire aligning with that focus? Number 4, know when to throw in the towel. Know when to throw in the towel. Know when it's time to say, goodbye. Okay, but know when it's time to throw in the towel. Now, here's the rule I like to use. When I look at what our responsibility is, if we're an owner, if we're a trainer, we're a coach, that kind of thing, what our responsibility is, from where I sit, is to give 100% of our efforts to make this person as good as they can be. It's our job to give 100% of our efforts to make this person as good as they can be. And the moment you find that you cannot give that 100%, from where I sit, that's when it's time to throw in the towel. That's when it's time to let them go. And I know I've mentioned this on other sessions and training classes that we've done. I've had a lot of folks over the years that I just really believed in, and I was willing to hang in there with them, and eventually it worked out, primarily because I wasn't willing to give up. And there's been other times we've had, really talented folks, had a lot, strong skill set, but man, they couldn't show up on time, couldn't do a lot of things. They weren't coachable, wanted to do it their own way. And it caused me to say, hey, wait a minute, can we really make this happen? So know when to throw in the towel. And then number 5 on my list of how to recover from a bad gym management hire is, how do you avoid future bad hires? How do you avoid future bad hires? Now, I led off with this, and this is one of the common mistakes, is too often when gyms hire, they wait to hire when they need somebody. And if you're not careful, you end up simply trying to fill a slot instead of the right person for the job. And so in part, to avoid future bad hires, always be recruiting, always be looking. One of the first things I would do, I would create an email database for simply a recruiting, and everybody we talk to, everyone that inquires, they go in there, okay, and every week they're getting some kind of newsletter about your culture, about the opportunity, about the growth, about the income, but whatever it is, about your company. And every day we're talking to folks. Every day we're interviewing folks. Every day that email database is growing. You have listings on social media. You have listings on job sites. You have listing at schools and churches and intern programs. You're marketing this heavy. It's a full plan of action to recruit. So now when you do need somebody, what the hope is, you can reach out and kind of touch somebody, so to speak, and get the right person for the job. But when you talk to these folks, okay, what you want to make sure we do is we're training them before they come on board. And in a perfect world, you might have 10 or 15 people in a training class and you're taking them through it, and we're going to weed them out, right? Some people just quit showing up. Some folks we have to pull aside and kind of move them along. You might end up with 3 or 4 good ones. But if you're not big enough to do that, what I would suggest for you is conduct some kind of a training before they come into the gym. Because what you want to find out is, can they do this? Are they willing to do this? Maybe in the interview process, have them send over a 30-second video on why they feel like they're the best person for the job. That could be something right there that gives some folks the boot because they simply won't do it or they won't follow directions. Okay, maybe when they come in and you talk to them, maybe ask them if they'd be willing to work 1 or 2 days, and you pay them, maybe it's an independent contractor, but they'll work 1 or 2 days at front desk, on the floor, in membership, in the back office, to see if it's for them. Come up with things that allow you to really vet this person out. Get more than one person to do the interviewing. You interview them, and let's get the opinion of another 2 or 3 people that you have respect for, in the industry. But at the end of the day, when that person comes in, we want to have vetted them as much as we can. And then when they get there, they should know how to do the job. Okay, they can answer the phone, they can work the software, they know how to give a tour, they know what the presentation looks like, they can make an outbound call, whatever those processes are going to be for you, they're ready to go. They don't really have to learn on the job, so to speak. So avoid future bad hires. Consider writing a plan of action for this, okay, and really following it. From an ownership standpoint, these are the 2 big job descriptions I give owners. We want to drive prospect traffic to the front door, but we also want to have a process in place to recruit and hire the best talent and to develop the best talent as well. So folks, I appreciate you being here on the channel today. Again, my name is Jim Thomas. If you've not yet done so, take a moment, hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. To learn more about me, learn more about my company and how we can help take your business that next level, be sure to check out those links below. And then for you folks that are opening a new gym and you need funding, you have an existing operation, you need funding, we can help with funding up to $400,000. It's unsecured, there's no restrictions on use. Basic qualification, 680 credit score in each of the 3 credit bureaus, and minimum income of $50,000 per year each of the 2 previous years. Check out the links below for more information on this and additional financing options that we have for you. Again, appreciate you being here today, and we look forward to seeing you all in that next video.